So it's Tuesday the 10th of June, and I didn't think we were going to get a chance to put in our reseeding this week at all, but we've actually had a good day today with no rain, and tomorrow is looking dull, but not much rain forecast. Just be careful here because the power harrow is very close to them pegs. They seem to be scooping it up at the ground. It's the first time our heifers have been introduced to pre-mowing, so it'll take a wee while to get used to it. The issue with having the cows close, as soon as I start talking to the camera, they think I'm calling them over to a new paddock. But anyway, it has dried up here this evening, and it's just gone 7 o'clock here. Oh yeah, that's alright actually. It doesn't take long to dry out when it's in the furrows like that. That stuff should break up nicely, so it should, hopefully. The idea tonight is just to actually get the power harrowing done, and then tomorrow hopefully one more dry day we'll take in. Might run the loud and lever over, we'll see what it's like. But we'll get it all in tomorrow, hopefully. That's the plan, and that will be brilliant. It'll be another job ticked off the list. We have the use of this power harrow now, so we'll make use of it when we have it. This morning I noticed the sound of mowers going very early this morning, so grass was really, really wet this morning, but people were just mowing it and going ahead and hoping that they could shake it out probably later on and get their silage in, because believe it or not, there's a lot of people who still had force cuts to do. But anyway, without talking any more about it, we have our job to do. Let's get at it. Anyhow, let's tear into this. And do a run with it first to see how deep it's going. We don't want to go too deep either. We don't want to be ripping up any sods and things that's underneath or turning up the grass underneath. We just want to get in the bottom of it, so get our revs up here. Right, so we're getting on nicely here. We've done about 10 minutes and we're maybe a quarter way over the field there. And it's breaking up lovely, so it is. It is. It does have moisture in it, but it's not very wet now. I'm just wondering, should I give it another pass as well? So I think when I have this done, I'll give it a second run. I might do a wee bit of it and see what it's like. And if I think that it's not making enough of a difference, then I'll leave it. But we will be running probably a land level over this as well, because even with that there are a few humps and hollows down there on that far side especially that I'd like to get out of it. Another thing I don't see is too many big stones. In fact, the biggest stone that I'm seeing is these kind of ones here. So there's a few of those about, and I wouldn't worry too much about that. We'll keep at it here. Time's a burning, God's a doing. So we're getting on nicely. It's just gone 20 to 8. Danielle, my oldest daughter, was over there flying the drone for me, helping me out a wee bit. I was trying to concentrate on what I was doing. The stuff is crumbling up nicely, and now that we have this kind of turned around, it'll allow it to dry out underneath as well. So at the moment we're in 2D. We're doing 6.6 kilometers an hour. Now I'm not sure if I'm going too fast, but I was doing the first half of it in 2C. I'm doing about 5.5 kilometers an hour, and I can't see the difference. I'm speeding up a wee bit, so it seems to be working every bit as good, so we'll stay at that speed. So I'll finish off here, I'll do my headlands, and then we'll have a look at it. Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock, and that is the second run done to the power harrow. That'll make a lovely seed bed there now, so it will. Tomorrow morning we get milking and things done. We'll come over here and we run the land lever on it. It does need the land level because there is a couple of humps and hollows around there that I'd like to get levelled out a bit. And then we'll get our rake man ready with the air seeder. We'll get in and get a roll. So we'll pick this up in the morning. Alright, so at the minute I'm just running the land lever on this. It seems to be running alright. It was a wee bit damp this morning when I first came out, but then when I got the leveler into it, it got moving. It's fine, it's tilting it up nicely. One thing it does do though, unfortunately, just bring up a few stones and a few sods. It doesn't look as pretty as where the power harrow left it. So we're going the direction of the harrow first. The next time I'm going to go up and down, with the second pass just going in a different direction. But where Jonathan pulled his plough to mark his field, there's a lot of sods just in that area, and fortunately there's not much I can do. It's going to pull a lot of them up to the surface. Not do an ounce of harm, they'll just look a bit unsightly until we get it rolled and they'll all disappear. Got a load of fertilizer on here. We're going to be putting this on at about 3 bags to the acre, 10, 10, 20. So we always put our fertilizer out before we put our seed down. The two's mixed together, and then a little bit of a covering with the tine harrow, and then we roll the whole lot in. So we have this here. We're heading to the field. Let's get it done. Right, that's the fertilizer out on the ground now. There's a nice coating of fertilizer there if you can see it. Ready now for some seed. We have the rake man on the back and we have the pneumatic seeder on it as well. It's going to take a little bit of time to do it. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way of going about it. I'm just going to go side to side, back and forth the whole time. I think, I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but I probably am wrong. People will probably say just go round it. Now I'm going to put on about a little more than a bag an acre. I'd rather put on too much than not enough. Again, there is a setting on that air seeder. I have been told to put it on, but I'm going to put it on a little bit stronger because I don't believe it's heavy enough, judging by some of the seeding that I've done, overseeding that I've done before with it. One of the other problems we're going to have with the tine harrow is that tines pull up sods. That can be an issue on ground here where there is places where there's sods. So it is going to pull up some of those, and hopefully it won't drag too many. So what I've did with this machine is I've took this bolt out here on both sides, have pushed this forward, which has brought these tines all up in the air, and that means they're less aggressive. The further pointing down they are, the more aggressive they are to ground. So that's as least aggressive that this machine will allow. Another thing I've done is I've let the wheels down on the front. I can go down another notch. Just going to have a wee look and see what it's like first. I'm going to do a couple of little test runs before we sow any seed. And another thing we have is our seed plates that drop our seed down isn't mounted at the front. You'll see in a lot of harrows that they're mounted at the front. It's mounted more than halfway down. I actually probably could have done with moving it further back, but we'll see what it does, because at the end of the day you only want the seed covered. You don't want it buried. Deeper the seed, the longer it will take to come. I've learned that lesson the hard way. We put in seed actually in the field in front of my own house. We put the grass seed in with a barrow seeder, and then we were going to get the end of a chain harrow the Monday or Tuesday after that, but then we found out it was going to give torrential heavy rain Sunday night, and we had to make a last ditch to try and get the seed covered before that. So I went and got the end of machine exactly like this. I think it could have been a Jarmet, exactly the same width, and everything about it was the same. And I went along and I covered the seed in front of the house, which was a mistake, because it got the full run of that harrow and it was a little bit too aggressive, and it buried the seed too deep. It took a long time for that seed to come. It did come, and it all came, and it worked out fine in the end. We rolled it 2 mind and it got a lot of heavy rain. Didn't help it either, but we're trying to avoid that today, learn from our mistakes. So we're going to set this up now. I'm going to adjust this top link a wee bit just to make sure that the final tines are just touching the ground and no more, and get ready to rock. Alright, so I'm not sure if you made that out, but the tines are just barely touching the ground. They're actually only touching in places, and you can see here where it's white, it didn't touch at all. So we can afford to move our top link back slightly. I don't want the front tines touching really at all. We're not harrowing this, we're just trying to cover in the grass seed. So I'm going to adjust our top link out a wee bit so that these tines here are making more contact with the ground. Now you can see there we're very close. Another good thing of knowing is, see the way it covered the fertilizer. But here, that's not covered, and that is covered, just covered. So we're still not making full contact with the ground. So I need to adjust it another turn, probably a full turn, and then we should be right. So that was a full turn of the top link, and I think it's ever so slightly, maybe a little bit too deep, but we're not far off. We're only trickling the ground and the front tines aren't touching, which means it will drag less, and that's what we want. So I think we can just turn it back ever so slightly and start seeding. Alright, so just turn the tractor off here to kill the noise. So the way we're setting up this, in case you have one of these, so we'll put it to max fan speed. So this is the fan that's going to be pumping out the seed. They always say to put it to max. There is a high and low, just there, a little high and low switch. So I've always had it on high. The guys that sold it to me told me the same, just keep it on high the whole time. There's no real reason to put it on low, for grass seed anyway. So this switch here controls the fan on and off. So we leave that on the whole time, and this guy here will control the feed. Every time I go to lift this up, I'll turn it off, and every time I want to put out seed, I'll turn it back on again like that. Now this by here controls the amount of seed that's coming out, or the feed that's coming out from the seeder. So a bag to acre, they're saying, set at number 7. Yeah, I'm going to go heavier than that. We're going a little bit more than half a bag to the acre. I'm going to put it at 9. I probably put it on too heavy. But again, this is the learning curve with just using this for the first time. So I'm going to put it at 9. We're going to travel at 8 kilometers an hour and see how we get on. This is the learning field for this machine, and if it does go on too heavy, if we have to put on an extra bag or two, I don't mind. The next time at least we'll have it more accurate. I'll know when I'm halfway through this anyway, regarding how much I've used, if I'm right or wrong. So we'll go with that. Alright, so that's it, all sown. We do have a dilemma. I'm just after listening to the radio, and it's saying that we could have severe thunderstorms. There's actually a weather warning in place, and thunderstorms can be accompanied with torrential downpours. So if I come along and roll this, it could open up tracks and could wash the seed out of it. So yeah, I don't know, I'm going to go home, have lunch, look at my phone and just get a better look at what the weather's thinking about doing. But this weather warning comes in at 8 o'clock tonight. So I could leave it and not roll it and come back, maybe roll it next week. I'm not sure if that caused an issue with it or not. I don't know. We'll see. There's always something. I'd like to get it rolled because it helps to hold seed and soil contact better. With a weather warning in place, that's a different story. Well, it's the following day. Well, it's the following evening actually. And by Christ, did we have a lot of rain. It's the heaviest rain we probably had in that short space of time this year, maybe. It wouldn't be far off if it's not. Here's our Reseed. Yeah, it's wet, no doubt about it. This is around the gap here, but the rest of it over there, it's not too bad. It's actually all right, like, and I don't think that's going to do any major harm. Some seed might move, I don't know. But I tell you one thing, I'm glad we didn't roll it, and we didn't roll it. I think it would have been quite a serious problem. Look. Serious problem is it would have damaged the grass. He probably would have moved it around, cut trenches through the field. All of those things can be fixed, so it's not the end of the world. But still, after all that work, getting it done and all, it'll be disappointing. It's not the first time it's happened to us, by the way. It seems to always happen to me, especially. The field in front of our own house, I remember, was one of the last fields we reseeded on the home farm. And I remember the day after, it teemed, and we did roll it. And it cut lovely big trenches the whole way down the field, a few inches deep, maybe even deeper than that, which wasn't the end of the world, and it all came eventually. And so will this. It's fine. I'm not worried about that. Look at that there. It's all right. It's just around the gap where a wee bit of water's probably running in here too, just running off the pass maybe into the field. So I'm using my phone here, by the way. The sound mightn't be that great in it. But I did put a post on Facebook when I was finishing off sowing the seed on this and asking, should we roll it or should we not? So if my father was here, I know exactly he would say to me, and that would be, do not roll it, leave it alone. And that's kind of what I had in my head to do anyway. But I just wanted to ask the question. It's nice to get other people's opinions and things. And about 80% of people said, don't touch it. There was a few people that said, roll it. And then there was another few people that said, forget all about it. Go and put your feet up, have a few pints, and you're dead on right. It all works out in the end. Here's a bit of water running down here. The rain has eased an awful lot. We're down now to a kind of a drizzle. But let me tell you, today, there was quite a bit of water running down there earlier on, and it was hopping off the ground. We had a lot of rain has fallen. I don't think that'll do any harm. If it does, I'll come back and just sow that wee bit again. Not the end of the world. That water is coming from here. You see over there on the laneway, coming out here. Exactly the last furrow was. So you nearly have a shuck coming along here. You can't see it now because I filled it in with clay. But the last furrow, when it was done, it left it kind of like a ditch. And water kind of run along this and came out here on the lowest point and then run down the field. We'll give you an update on it later on down the line when it hopefully starts to peep up and how it does. People are always interested, like myself, watching videos and how people do their reseeding, and people do learn things from them, and not necessarily learn how to do something, maybe learn how to avoid doing something that person done so you don't make the same mistake. So we'll see how it goes. A few weeks time we'll come back, have a gander at it and take it from there. Look, thanks for watching today's video. I'm going to leave it there now. Get in, dry me clothes, finish up for the evening. See you in the next one.